Well, guys, when a challenge lock comes in the lock lab, I usually give it 1 hour's worth of attempts. I make 6 tries, 10 minutes each for a total of 1 hour. And if I can't pick a challenge lock after an hour, I usually would do a whipped video on it. This video is a little bit different. This is a Farmer Freak lock, Farmer13. I've been working on this lock for 3 days, not 3 hours. Now, not constantly. I took time out for bathroom breaks and things like that, but a lot of hours have gone into this. Let me zoom in a little bit on the front. You can see the wear on this where my picks have actually worn a little trough here in the bottom of all of the hours I've spent on this lock. Nothing. I got just the most minor of fault sets. Let me tell you what I know about this lock through observation, and then I'll tell you what I know about this lock through cheating observation. First of all, Farmer Freak locks are usually a mixture of a very good quality lock with some really nice pins and also a puzzle thrown in just for the heck of it. This one's got a third element, and I think, or at least I believe it does, it's got some psychological warfare thrown in. So when I got this lock, first thing I did is look at it, look down the keyway, got a flashlight, and right on the bottom is a detent, just like we find on Everest locks. I can feel it, got a very strong spring, and I thought I had found the puzzle. All you got to do that now is pick those 6 pins on top, and you can feel all 6 pins right along the top there. Well, I beat the detent, I raked it, and I got one or two times in 3 days a very minor fault set, but these pins on the top are always springy. None of them were actually bound up. So those are my observations. I tried to beat the detent in a couple of different ways. First of all, let me see if I can grab one here. I tried to put a very long tensioner in there. So I would slide this dude in, get in there. I would push him down. I mean, it's a really strong spring, and the pin is located roughly in the middle. And then I would tension it. The problem is, because that pin is located in the middle, while the front of this tensioner might be all the way on the bottom, the back of it is still pivoting up on that pin. So despite me thinking this was a good idea, it didn't quite work out. So I came up with another idea, and that was get a little clip, basically, and I would slide him in there and then shove him down and clip him on the bottom, just like that. Now this is kind of cheating because there's no guarantee this would not be flush fitted. Somebody, there's no guarantee there's going to be a lip on there to put this on, but it didn't matter. I didn't beat it. This has the same problem. That really strong spring from that detent pushed the back of this up. So the detent was never defeated unless I picked it manually. Now, when you go use top of the tension, top of the keyway, like I said, all the pins are dead. So looking a little closer, and this is pure cheating. Let me back out a little bit here. Let's take them out of the clamp. You got 6 pins on the top. You can feel it, and through the tape you can see 6 caps in there. When you rotate it around, there's also 2 caps here that I missed on my first observation. There are 2 side pins coming directly in there like that. I'll tell you, I cannot feel them with my pick. I have no idea what they do. So that's why I say I think the bottom pin is psychological to make me think I beat the puzzle. This is the real trap. I don't know if these have to be pushed in like dimples. I don't know if they're trap pins. So that means if you touch them, it'll seize the core. I really don't have a clue. Doesn't appear, I haven't taken the tape off, it doesn't look like there's any other pins on this thing other than those 8, actually 9 counting the bottom one. So I'm whipped, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to put more than 3 days into picking a lock. I'm going to declare this as a whipped video, and let's go ahead and take a look. All right, move all this junk out of the way. Let me find the end of the tape. Looks like it right there. Let me go and take the tape off, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the key out. I have the key still. All right, there. Okay, and our observation here, there are 6 pins on top. Looks like there's 2 on the side, and I didn't even feel that or see any indication through the tape. There's another one right there on the bottom. We'll take a look at all of those. Let's take a look at the key, though. I have the key sandwiched in this little wafer thing. Let's go ahead and cut it and take a look. All right, I don't see anything to address those side pins. I mean, we got some awesome bitting on this thing, no question of that, but I don't see nothing in there. Not even inside of the groove. Well, let's see if this thing works. I have no doubt that it will. Wow, that thing really drags going in there. Oh, come on, man. Don't tell me you don't work. It does work. Well, I said it did. It started turning there, right there. It partially turns. There we go. Oh my God, that thing is super tight. It's loose going counterclockwise, but when you turn it clockwise, I mean, it really takes a lot. And I'm wondering if the tailpiece is untight. I'm going to loosen that up. The detent isn't locking in the little notches there, and that really makes no difference. My God. Now it's... Okay, well, it does work, but it is incredible. Now it doesn't want to go back. Incredibly tight. There we go. All right, it does work, so let's give credit where credit is due. Let's open it up and take a look. Grab the next... On this detent, I notice the tailpiece doesn't have to be pushed down. It looked like it was screwing off without having to push down on that detent. I think it's because that's quite worn. Oops. Okay, give me that key, because I definitely need it. I'm going to turn him like... Tell you what, since there are all these weird pins, and that's really strange how it's really tight going that way, but when you go back, it's super easy when it works. Come out of there. All right, let's take the side. Let's take the bottom pin out first. Okay, let's see if this is the right size, and of course it's not. Try this guy. There we go. All right, we have a ball bearing in the bottom as a detent with a spring holding him in place. And I don't see anything else down there. All right, let's take these side pins out next. What do you know, the right size? I grabbed the right one. All right. All right, little compressed spring. And a normal pin. Looks like there's another pin down there. Let me get my beater block up here. Maybe there's not. All right, well, let's take that other guy out. What do I do with those tweezers? I got so much junk laying out here. Let me zoom in so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, we got a half a spring and another driver pin. Nothing else. All right. Let's go ahead and put the key in now and treat this like a normal lock. Maybe not. No. I don't have a clue what. Okay, starting to get like a false set. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's just take the pins out of the top. Since we do have these caps on here, let's take advantage of it. See if I got the right size here. All right. All right, we got a steel spring. And he's magnetic naturally. Just like my tweezers. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, guys, this fell. I don't know where that came from. I have no clue where that came from. I don't know if that could not. I think that fell out of the side. That's one of the side pins. Come on, focus. Give me a break. All right, well, he fell out of that guy. There must be another one inside of there as well. This fell out of the Bible. There must be another pin in the side here. He's starting to come out. He's almost out of there. Come on. There we go. All right, it's another one of these little T-pin guys. So these little T-pins were in the side. So those definitely were active side pins. All right, now let's get back busy with chamber 2. Another steel spring. And looks like serrated with a standard driver. I take that back. That was not. Man. Goes like that. This was not a standard pin. This was a 2-part pin for the key pin, and that slides down inside of the body. You can see that's hollow there. All right. As we continue to fumble our way through this, there we go. I didn't drop one. What do you know? All right, we've got a different spring. Come on. Come on. Okay, we got a standard driver and a standard key pin. Okay, we're continuing with our dropping habit. Another steel spring. Number 4. Oh boy. Take a look at that little guy. And looks like a homemade serrated. I'm almost thinking that's a 2-piecer. It is. Come on, camera. Focus, baby. Little 2-piecer. No wonder I wasn't getting this guy open. All right, number 5. Continuing with the dropping bill. Come on. Okay, we have We have a driver with a little tiny little groove cut in him. And then, I don't know if this is a two-piecer or just a straight, very simple serrated pin. Nice sharp edges on him. And the last one. I don't even want to know how many hours it took you to put this together. Come on. Come on. All right, we have, I don't have the key pin out yet, a serrated driver. And this one doesn't want to come out. There he is. Just a standard key pin. All right, what do we have here? Looks like we have number 1, 2, 4, and 5 are threaded. These little T-pins fit into the side like so. I'm only going to put one in there. And let's just do a real quick check. It does protrude into the keyway. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It does protrude in the keyway just a little bit. So I suspect it was hiding right behind pin number 6. And the next one would have been hiding behind pin number 3. So as I would have to have picked him probably with a flag tool, sliding him down inside of there, finding him, and then manipulating him to the shear line. So it was a standard, basically a standard pick from the side, because we had a standard driver pin in the body of the lock. So I had to pick pin number 6 and then pick the side pin. I had to pick pin number 3 and then pick the side pin. I don't know the sequence. If you look at this groove here, it looks like something was really binding up around the lock. That's probably what was causing all the problem. Maybe I had boogered it up when I was picking. I really don't know. All right, let me go ahead and straighten all this stuff up. So I can give you a close-up shot of all the pins. This is a two-piecer. And then the side pin goes here. All right, let's take a look at the body real quick. On this one, every single one of them, all 6 of them were threaded in the chambers. And these guys were threaded all the way through the body as well. Looks like this started out as a piece of hex brass, and he machined the whole lock himself, and then might have used this core and retrofitted it out of another lock, probably out of a Schlage or something. But he did make the body to fit this. All right, here's what we have. Let me get this working right. We have serrated, and now remember this was chamber number 1 is threaded. Chain number 2 is standard pin, but that was threaded as well to catch this threaded part of that 2-part pin that you see right there. 3 was standard, there were no threads in it. Number 4, we had a 2-part key pin with a standard driver, basically a wafer. Same thing on number 4, except it's a single part pin with basically a master wafer. And then number 6, we had a standard driver with looked like a little serrated. 6 was also threaded, by the way. On the 2 side pins, which were hiding behind pin number 3 and pin number 6, both of them were these little T-pins that you see right here with standard drivers. On the bottom, we had a ball bearing. I really don't know what the purpose of that was, other than to perhaps keep the lock aligned. I can't see. That's what was causing the binding, guys. That ball bearing. Let me grab that key real quick. When you slide that dude in there, it would push the ball bearing out of that groove and allow it to rotate, and that ball was actually creating a groove inside of the core. I don't know why that would be. Maybe it was just a little bit too tight, but it did work. So got to give credit where credit's due. So we had a puzzle, we had psychological warfare, and we had some nasty pins all tucked into threaded chambers. I don't feel bad. I think 3 days is a little bit big, a little bit much time to invest in it, but I don't regret a minute of it. Farmer Freak, thank you, sir. I'd really love to know how long it takes you to put this lock together. This is incredible. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal.